Turn it up, it's time to go. NaPodPoMo steals the show. 30 days of something new. On call for just for you. Every word, every line. Racing hearts, it's our time. This podcast is uncalled for. Open the door, hear what's in store. NaPodPoMo, it's a blast. Hit play and let the fun last. A mic, a dream, a spark of fire. Ideas climbing higher, higher. Day by day we're pushing through. All for this moment, just for you. This podcast is uncalled for. Open the door, hear what's in store. NaPodPoMo, it's a blast. Hit play and let the fun This podcast is uncalled for. NaPodPoMo, forevermore. Let's go, let's go. Hear the roar and die for we all adore. This podcast is uncalled for. Open the door, hear what's in store. NaPodPoMo, it's a blast. Hit play and let the fun
Not liking this too much. Yeah, I'm here. Plaza. Stop on the streetcar. And I'm going to be taking the streetcar downtown to Union Station. No, not Union Station, Borough Hall. For yeah, it's early. Planning anime training, so which doesn't start until 9:30. It looks like I'm waiting a while for the next streetcar to show up, but all right. Well, since I'm here at the station, I'll go and show you. So right now, I'm down here, Plaza. I gotta go all the way up. It's that P&amp stop, and Borough Hall's just a couple blocks to the west. And the best part, of course, the other great part about KC Streetcar, as I said in the South Park Scientology episode, it's fun and it's free. Alright, so guess I'll be waiting a few more minutes before. Yeah, hang on. You got the sign right here. Oh, sorry, that's 2 UMKC is 3 minutes. I want to go the other way. Still saying 2 UMKC. Okay. So I'm actually walking in the opposite direction of UMKC. UMKC's behind me. The last stop on the run, and everything else is the way I'm walking right now. So what the heck is going on? Oh, but yeah, I'll be here a while. Here we go. River Market. That's what we need. Next one's in 7 minutes. Alright, so I will probably get a video on the actual streetcar when it gets here, so alright. And there is our streetcar coming for him. Next up, alright, so I had to take a little stop at Union Station to take care of business. And it continues. How cool is that? It continues to amaze me. They took this building and made it functional again. So behind me, or there's the post office. Got a couple shops there, and I got Amtrak to my left right here. So this is a actual functioning Amtrak station, you know, for the. I think we have a couple. Yeah, the big route I think of is the Missouri River Runner to and from St. Louis ends here. But I think there's another line that where I stop between Chicago and LA. Excuse me. And walking back to the streetcar now. A couple stops to go. But I will be there for the training. So I will see you there. You don't need to see me get on. You don't need to see me get on another streetcar. This way to the northbound platform, southbound platform, or the street. I heard me talking about this is the link. This tunnel, if I were to take it all the way, goes over to the Weston over there. And you take another set of tunnels to get to the infamous, the infamous, what's it Sheraton now, but it's the old Hyatt Regency. Of the skywalk collapse in the 80s. If I had time, I'd walk over to show you by domes right now. But yeah, let me show you a couple more things here. So this is Washington Square Park right here. So hopefully the Royals will be here. And we'll have a lot less homeless people. And rather there is a Liberty Memorial, or World War I Museum Memorial. God, that's a mouthful. Part of Penn Valley Park. Over there you see the Ferris wheel, which I am not gone on just yet. Eventually, but not right now. Alright. I'm almost at the northbound platform. Looks like I have 5 minutes for the next streetcar. And yeah. And then down these stairs, get to the streetcar stop. Again, if I continued down, I'd be in the West End concourse. area that empties into the Crown Center Mall, and then another corridor that would lead to the corridor taking you over to the Hyatt. Alright, let me show you. So restaurants, shops, this is the Union Station sign, Mason Transit City, Science City Theater, Amtrak, Post Office, Freight House Bridge into the Crossroads. And then over here we got Weston Restaurants, Transit's the Hyatt's, Grand Center Exhibition Hall, and here's a map. So there's that bridge, and see into the Weston. Weston is directly empties in the shop. Then we go here, office building. That's the aquarium in Legoland. Okay, we have arrived. I'm at the Paralight stop. One of the few times, if ever, you will see me in the P&L district, because they've pretty much made it clear they don't want me here. So there's reason getting off here, and it is because Barrow Hall is just 2 blocks west of here. Just waiting for that crosswalk. Just saw a couple guys just walk when it's red. Can we stop doing that, please? My God, you're gonna get yourselves killed. All right, they have a crosswalk like this for a reason. So use them. Don't abuse them. And we're walking. And we're walking. Yeah, never been in this theater, and again, they've made it pretty clear they don't want me here. So, all right. So we're walking. All right. So this is also a good example of what we've been talking about with downtown revitalization. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, there was literally nothing here. This building right here was crumbling and all that. So I'm glad it's been built up, but could you make it a little less elitist? You know? Because that's a big part of the problem, is that this district only caters to the elites, which I certainly am not. I certainly don't dress like one. So, all right, a couple things here. So that famous library garage is down that way. I was here just the other day for DoorDash. It was really cool. The valet was awesome. Everything. So we're walking. So where I want to go is actually to my left. Here, the next crosswalk. That's one of the entrances to Barrow Hall. Across the street from that the older looking building, that is Municipal Auditorium. So when I was going to UMKC, that's where the Roos played men's basketball. You see there's a sky bridge there. That's because Municipal is part of Bar Hall, really. So, all right. So, and they've got a lot of construction going on right here. They're completely tearing down and rebuilding the Barney Ellis garage on the other end of Municipal there, because it got so old that it started crumbling around them. So I'm looking forward to seeing the new wait, and that's where we need to go. So there's that new convention hotel that has Kelsey and Mahomes. That's there. All right. So, yeah, this feels like a downtown. This feels like you're actually in the city, you know, because you are. All right, Planet Anime orientation. Here I come. What the heck is this? Oddities and Curiosities 2025. All right. See you in a bit. All right. So we just finished with the training, and heading back to first the streetcar. Wait. All right. Yeah, that's the first part of our journey. So heading back to the car. So that means streetcar down to the Plaza, and then car, and go and help Dad out for today, and plan is to do some DoorDash afterwards. And of course, we'll be at this again tomorrow, just different stuff going on. So, but yeah, it's, you know, if you've ever worked a convention before, or in these, you probably know the basics of what was likely talked about here. You know, with safety stuff, and I think a first for me is having to set through a safety protocol in case, in the event of an active shooter. That was weird. There's a green cross light, but the street line was still red. That's weird. Usually they turn the green and red together. I'm hoping this is the one I'm going to take. Fortunately, no, because that's the northbound. I need southbound now on this side of Main Street. So, all right. I think I'll end this vlog. I'll keep talking a little bit longer, but yeah, I see the streetcar actually coming down. Down the street. Here we are. Going to southbound Power Light. And it looks like I'll be waiting 5 minutes for my streetcar. streetcar to get here. So I'm just going to hang out for the next 5 minutes and see you later. Alright, hello everyone. I'm back at Vladivostok. I'm going to do a quick food Pron for you. Some more mac and cheese, tempura, chicken, shrimp, beef and broccoli, some dumplings, or should we say Asian pierogi, and some fish and a salad. And I'll definitely be doing another couple of these today. I really want to do one on loneliness, how it affects me, you know, and I got a funny one for when I go to work in just a couple hours. So if I don't do the loneliness one today, I'll certainly do it tomorrow. So. That's the loneliness post I promised earlier today. This is the other post. This is the Vladivostok Backhand post, or the Ura post. And I think it's relevant right now because the school I'm about to go to for Shiz Club here in beautiful Blue Springs, Missouri, they want us to park in the back and use the back entrance. And it got me to thinking about the Vladivostok backhand slab. Obviously this would go over your head unless you are a fan of Japanese comedy, and more specifically Dantan no Gaki no Tsukaya Arahende. So what happened? Yeah, what happened was it was a bet over the Japan World Series, Japan's version of the World Series. I forget who won it. That particular, I know it's Hanshin. The Hanshin Tigers lost it that year, and it was a phenomenon where the home team won every single game. And Hamada had picked Hanshin to win also. His Matsugame, his punishment was to go to Vladivostok. By the way, the whole thing here is a pun on the Ura in the Japanese, which means something akin to the back, behind, all that. So he's going to Vladivostok, which in Japanese is Ura Jiostoku, to get a backhand slap. Along the way to this game, everything is Ura, the back of everything. So it's going through the back entrance, like we're talking about here. He has to everything is served to him upside down. Even the car he was given to him upside down. They had to get a crew to turn it right side up, and everything's Ura. Right. So going to the back of things and taking the back roads, taking pictures of the backs of sculptures. So Ura. Even there's at one point where he's even drinking a Coca-Cola Ura. Ultimately going to the back of a middle school, and I just happened to be in the back of a middle school to receive a backhand slap. And everything, of course, Ura. And funny coincidence, there is currently a sumo wrestler in Japan whose ring name is Ura. Utata, utata, uta utate, utata, utata, uta uta yo. I want to do my one of these things on loneliness, and I'm going to start by acknowledging I am aware that sometimes I can come off as a creep on social media, and something I am aware of, and I do want to sincerely apologize for anyone that has affected. We'll start there, but loneliness. Dating I did in high school, 0. Part, how much I did in college, also 0. A lot of it was, I alluded to this in the past. I'm going to allude to once again, the ones I'm attracted to, or either not interested or already seen someone. Is the ones who are seeing someone and then bother let me know that we're the more problematic of the bunch, even receiving death threats for that. The ones that I seem to attract, I don't know. I think this is the most sound thing Pat said in the San Arshlas episode. Physical attraction is important, and frankly, if I'm the more attractive of the two, that can't be good for anyone. Because look at me, I'm a fucking ogre. It got so bad that by the time I got to UPC, so past 21, and this is the theory that Matt Sewell was on, when you reach 21, you haven't found someone yet. Why bother? I probably should have stuck with my own advice. Why bother? And I was 24, 25 when I finally met Holly, the first girl to agree to date me. Which all took place in the month of November. be good for anyone. It's basically what happened there. And yeah, no names, just going to tell you guys. So yeah, almost always ending after the first or second date, and almost always I'm the one they broke up with a couple of exceptions, and for the most part that has been platonic dating. There was only one instance of someone offering to screw me. This brings up the next question. When's the last time I've been laid? Never. 47 years old and never been laid. Which tells you just how bad my luck actually has been. So, and it's stressful. I mean, let's discount the fact that Casey is almost always near the bottom of worst cities for dating. Let's discount that, and I do acknowledge that being on the autism spectrum doesn't help my case at all, really, and that is a negative of having this disorder. And yes, I do acknowledge I can come off as a bit of a creep, certainly on social media, and once again I apologize for that. But there's really no good healthy way for me to express interests in anyone. Because on the one hand, if I do, I fear I'm absolutely going to get rejected. Alright, or B, probably not as much anymore, but certainly when I was in high school, college, the very real possibility that my life would have ended right there and then. And as a result, I don't go out to bars much anymore, but even when I did, do you think I was trying to hit anyone at the bars? Absolutely not. Because that's in mind. And especially in a singles group situation. I'm going to tell you another little story. So I have been trying to get involved with singles groups and everything. I do recall one particular event. It was a Taco Tuesday type event where there were a bunch of people there just gathered, and no one would talk to me. I literally felt like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why'd I even bother? Why'd I even bother coming in the first place? You know, that sort of thing. And that was kind of hurtful. And it hurts me. It does hurt me seeing people, two people happy with each other, knowing that that's a happiness I'll probably never experience. And it's that bad that I don't go to weddings, and I can't stand going to weddings. So I do appreciate everyone not inviting me to those, because I would have been a complete jackass on myself. Because what the last wedding I attended, which was the Dartmouth grad. And those were some of his buddies. And if I recall correctly, a lot of those guys saw my early video work. I guess we can, because I would do the videos and then send them to Brett at Dartmouth. Back when VHS was a thing, folks. I also recall at that wedding we asked, Ski, when are you getting married? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not seeing anyone. I can't even get, I couldn't even get a date. My life depended on it. So, and still the case today. Really. So yeah, loneliness hurts. And I'm seeing all these reports. Oh, there was one other thing I should point out from the Cassie wedding. I recall drinking a little too much and flipping everyone off when they were tossing the garter, like running into the restroom, flipping everyone off. I do distinctly remember that. And practically anyone who tells you weddings are a great place to meet single women, well, they can fuck off, because that wasn't the case, but at all. It hurts, and then you hear, well, what about going to events that you'll see a lot of women who have done that to also no success, because the events I've been going to, any women that show up are already happily married or with someone. So again, I don't want to die. Oh, what about the women you've been hanging out with? I guess again, married or seeing someone. I can't do it for everything, especially if kids are involved. I don't want what happened with what's going on with my uncle right now to happen to me when I pass. So. Context time, I had an uncle die almost 2 years ago now, and I am entitled to a portion of his estate. I've received on those funds already. He was buried with two stepsons, both of whom were adults by the time he got married. His wife, by the way, who unfortunately died of lung cancer sometime between 2006 and 2010. So she'd been dead for a while. He just died 2 years ago. And the fight is with her sons and his stepsons. Again, they were adults when they really has gotten to a point. I'm also seeing articles that loneliness can be dangerous to someone's health. How the hell am I still alive then? How the hell am I still alive if that is the case? Again, 47, and I've been lonely this whole time. And the worst part is no one is either able to or willing to help me. I want to say a little bit of both, because let's be honest, it probably is a little bit of both. And this leads down to very unfortunate circumstances, including but not limited to the whole Vladivostok situation. And that goes back to the very first episode at the Vladivostok. So this was after Holly, but still when I was doing security, and it's still a little over 20 years ago. Now, I fell for a Russian sweetheart scam. Those online scams. I want to come and see you, but I need the money to. And yeah, I fell for this shit. Never got my money back, but still fell for it. One thing I do distinctly remember is the gal said she was from a small town in Russia called Vladivostok. There you go. There's the project. I got its name. I did write a script for it and tried to shoot it. It would have been the first script I would have shot under SAG rules if I didn't abandon the project. But that's what it was about. Was my point of view, fictionalized, of course, my point of view of what happened during that thing. Which brings up a good question. Should I do some sort of dating profile on the podcast? I don't think I really did. I think I touched on a few things during the International Wednesday episode. Would it behoove me to use it as a personal dating app? but I don't know how much longer I can go being single, being alone right now, being frankly second fiddle at best within my own family, because I do have two brothers, one sister, and all one of them is happily married with 3 kids. My 2 nieces and my 1 nephew. And in that case, the clock really is ticking, because my niece is now 13. And frankly, looks older now. So any little bit helps. And I think I will go ahead and close this before I start bringing it, because I am getting a little teary-eyed just talking about this. But every little bit helps. I'm trying to think of close on this a little bit. So 10-year reunion. Very much how I do remember drinking lots in that thing. But I also distinctly remember one of my classmates saying, "Hey, let's give it up for Chernovsky for doing things that he wants to do." What the fuck are you talking about? You're happily married. Dude. So how the fuck could you possibly know what I want? Alright. So we'll just again, apologies for coming off as a creep. And any little bits helps, but clearly we need to get some parameters set. So yeah, all in there. Peace. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 18 of our challenge. And this has me pissed off, so that's why we're doing this. So, okay, Farzin, I not even gonna try pronouncing it, did found a poll, and frankly, a lot of people around here are really fucking stupid. So, 375 residents from Overland Park and Leawood were surveyed, and the majority of them prefer both the Royals and Chiefs stay at the Children's Resource Complex. First of all, not happening. That's the depth of your stupidity. The Royals have themselves said we're not staying. Okay, um, that's that's the big that's the big one. The Royals themselves said we're not staying. We're going downtown or elsewhere, but staying at Kaufman is not happening. All right, it's going to cost too much. It's going to cost more to renovate the stadium than it is to uh, build a new. All right, that should have been a big takeaway from those town halls. And so that is an episode of the podcast is one of the town halls. So number one, number two. How many of you have actually been downtown? How many of these 375 people have actually been downtown? Because that's stupid. Uh, Saying, "Oh, there's no way to park. How people gonna get in and out?" Oh, fuck you, people! My God, my God. Oh, yeah. Um. So a new ballpark probably wouldn't be open until 2030, 2032, around there. There should be extensions ready to go by then, beyond what's already there. And yeah, just park on the fucking plaza, take the streetcar to Union Station, and just get off there. But I digress. Let's look at this stuff. So, regardless of whether any government incentives are used overall, where would you most prefer to see the Royals Stadium complex exist after the current lease on Kauffman Stadium ends after the 2030 season? And they asked 375 adults in OP or Leawood. Oh, that's fine. I don't recall taking this, but it's okay. And they broke it down by age, income, whether or not they were a Royals or Chiefs fan. 40% said stay at the existing complex. Again, not fucking happening. All right. 26% Asperia, that's South OP. Okay, two things on this one. One, that would replicate many of the same issues existing currently at Kaufman, with the sole exception being there's actually business being built around it. Number one. Number two, there's no room for it. Um, all the stuff just around that area, all the empty space that was there, it's being filled up really fucking quiet. I shouldn't. I was there just the other day. All right. So I'm telling you, that's take it off the table. Take it off the table, and people just don't want it. Only 13% said downtown. Only 13. So a combined 66% are addicted to cars, clearly, and probably have never set foot downtown because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and probably never set foot in a downtown ballpark either. They really wouldn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Baseball belongs downtown, period. Okay? Baseball belongs downtown, period. All right. Um, so yeah, that's not out yet, but I did a 7 parts long form where I think the first parts was talking about this. Um, yeah, the vast majority of major league teams are downtown, so there's absolutely no reason why this team can't be downtown, especially given the still lack of activities to do uh, around there. You know, it seems like that's the final piece of the puzzle. So cut that shit out about wanting to stay where they are. That's not happening. And one more thing. The last time I was at Kaufman, it was on the Royals as a result of going to their downtown halls, and it was with friend of the podcast, Pat Lamb. And I will tell you, getting out of that parking lot is a pain in the ass. A much bigger pain in the ass than it would be downtown. So shut the fuck up about that. Uh, and also the downtown at the Washington Square sites, that's literally right next to the Union Station stop on the streetcar. So you can take the streetcar and you don't have to try to get out all at once, which you currently do at the current ballpark because there's nothing around to do to kill time after before or after the game. Except go across 6 lines of traffic to a fucking Taco Bell. And North KC, once again, I'm going to say is an acceptable alternative. But I can understand OP and Leewood folks not wanting to go there. 4%. I'm going to have to go there today anyway for work. Uh, so, so yeah, that one I could understand for people south of the river, but it is much more acceptable than South OP. All right, and certainly more acceptable than the current situation. The current situation just ain't happening. And let's not forget the revenue side of things, people. You're talking about a team that is consistently in the bottom three of team revenue, but I think only the Florida teams are worse. So, so yeah, let's wash that thought out of your fucking brains because it ain't happening. All right, and uh, and part two is regardless of whether any government incentives are used overall, where would you prefer to see the Chiefs stadium complex exist after the lease on Arrowhead it ends in 2030? Chiefs is a different story because okay, yeah, another complaint I hear from the anti crowd is, what are people going to tailgate? Tailgating is not part of baseball culture. Tailgating is very much part of football culture, but is not part of baseball culture in any way, shape, or form. Um, stay at the stadium, 50%. Okay, in regards to the football team, okay, yeah, you can stay where you are. All right. If tailgating is that important to you, and tailgating actually is a part of the football culture, then yeah, that they can say. Well, Western Wyandotte County, so Legends area, 26%. Should we really put more shit out there? Uh, but let's read some of these idiots commenting. We'll Okay, so let's read some comment. The decision will have 0% to do with from nostalgia and preference and 100% based on business decision, the best long-term financial package for the owners and team. Okay, I agree. I agree there because once again, Royals bottom three in revenue in all Major League Baseball. I don't think it's a coincidence that the ballpark's current location has a lot to do with that. All right. And the team has said themselves, we will replicate the Crown scoreboard and fountains at any new ballpark. So what the fuck are you complaining about? This and Sumimasen done on the Missouri side with the same outcome. We truly have an amazing sports complex. I know others say I wish the team's front office still believed in Lamar and Ewing's visions. Okay, both those men are fucking dead. One and two. Once again, Royals. They they shouldn't be out there. They should be downtown. Period. End of story. End of story. Um, how they came to be there? Well, that um, spoiler. I've been invited to do another podcast, and invited specifically to talk about the Kansas City A's situation. Right? It all depends on who the 375 were polls are for. Alice, I agree with you. And I agree with Ed to Truman Sports Complex will be an empty lot in less than 10 years. Maybe we can hold swap and shop there. And Derek, right on the money, pal. Who cares what they want? The Royals are not playing there past 2030. Where do they need new stadiums? Oh my God, you're so fucking stupid. Don't vote, don't drive, don't procreate. Nick may have the best. Okay, so I got two comments to Jerome Dumbass there. The Royals have had winning records 2 years in a row. New stadiums have nothing to do with winning. I would disagree there. I would I would disagree somewhat there. New stadiums tend to bring in new revenues that immediately go to getting the team uh, in a much better position. And Chad, okay, we're going to read Chad's full response to dumbass Jerome. Because as they have explained multiple times, the maintenance costs of keeping an old stadium going are at a tipping point where paying a loan interest is cheaper, so it just makes more sense to build something new than to put more money for something old. Could they build at the same location? Sure, but it's really not that good of a spot, and the community hasn't embarrassed the area. Embarrassed, maybe embraced, maybe. No, I think embraced is probably the better word there, or built it up at all. Because if you know that part of town, you know they really can't. So it is very hilly and very forested. Uh, I think there's rock formations and shit underneath there to make it difficult. And yeah, that is not a good part of town to try to develop. And I, yeah, they've tried. Whereas downtown, you have at least a couple of spots that you can easily develop. So, second reason to build something new is that you can open up new revenue streams that currently are not possible, but to make use of those, you need to be located somewhere people will go for something smaller than an NFL game. Thank you, Chad. Both teams are not going to stay. The area is not developed since the stadium complex was built. I just told you why. It's actually gotten worse and worse in the last 4 decades, idiots. Face it, both teams are leaving Eastern Jackson County. Well, at least one is. I think the jury's still on the other one. On the football. Minnesota got rid of the dome, and the Vikings and Twins have sucked ever since. I think it has more to do with ownership than that. So, and also spoiler alerts to Wagon Burner. There. Did you ever see the video of snow collapsing in on the dome in Minneapolis? Because you wouldn't be making that statement if you had. Right? And also, when's the last time the Vikings won a Super Bowl? It's never happened. And my comments there. So I did comment on my regular account there. So the Royals themselves said that Santa Kaufman is a non-option. So stop already. And they have. All right. I think we're done here for now. So no. Well, stop share. And yeah, I think this will fulfill our quota for today for the NaPodPoMo. Tomorrow, I envision being a much busier day than today. So, but of course, I leave open the option that we'll be doing more later today. We'll see. All right. Take care, everyone. Hello, everybody. So today is day 19 of our challenge. 19. 19. Those of you too young to get the reference, that's an 80s song called 19. You know, the average soldier in Vietnam, he was 19. 19. Alright. So, okay, today. So, today was an early day, of course, so 5 in the morning. Actually, I was up before then. But today is also Independent Filmmakers Coalition Day, IFC, which, is now once monthly, third Wednesday of every month, which happens to be today. And we'll see if I'm actually able to stay conscious for today. Of course, IFC, a lot of friends of the podcast are associated with the IFC, so opportunity to get people who have been on the podcast before on the podcast. So, I can think of a couple who would automatically become 3-timers if they appear on one of these. Blogs, because once again, these will become part of the podcast once it's all said and done. Sorry, but right now I want to bitch about Donnie and his glorious mishandling of our economy, because I am certainly feeling it today. My car insurance is due today. I just checked my bank balance, and I can't afford much else right now. Not even thankfully I have more than tank of gas. So I'm gonna make the most of my door dashing until the most of my DoorDash tomorrow, and probably a little bit on Friday, and certainly on Sunday. Saturday, forget it, because I have to do chest work, and Sunday I won't be home with my dad out on Sunday. So, and Friday's usually a good day to do DoorDash. However, this Friday, as has been previously established, I will be at Planet Anime, doing some video work, free video work. All right, I'm not getting paid to do it. So I got that. But yeah, I'm certainly feeling the pinch right now. Telling them to pay down the repairs for this. For those unfamiliar with what I'm talking about there, over the summer, I had to have the engine of this vehicle replaced. Not cheap, but certainly cheaper than trying to buy a new car right now. Also, I like this car. So I like this car. I will get as much usage out of it as humanly possible. Ideally, I'd like to have it converted to a EV, electric vehicle. But that's not in the cards right now. It's certainly not in the cards after I've just had to replace the engine, which took months. By the way, they had to find the right parts, and that took a lot more time than anticipated. So, I do get helps. I do get a little bit to help my dad now. So it's helps. And as much as I like working with the chess club, I only get paid once a month with them. And a lot of that right now is being eaten up by paying down the debt on. Sorry, I knocked my rearview mirror out. Paying off the debt for the repairs here. And it's certainly not helped out by the fact that Donnie dumb fuck wants to put tariffs on everything. On this idiotic notion that it will start going. No, dipshit, that's not how tariffs work. How tariffs work is, let's say I'm importing stuff from China. China doesn't pay the tariff. I would as the importer. And then, to cover those costs, I then pass the costs of that tariff onto the customers. That's exactly what's happening right now. So, all right. Seriously? Idiots don't know how to drive. So, alright. So, fingers crossed I can actually stay conscious enough today to make it to the IFC and get some friends of the podcast here. We might find some friends of the podcast during anime, but we shall see. But that's a couple of days away still. But today, IFC. And we'll see about that. Alright, it's me again. While killing time today, I learned that today was International Men's Day. Didn't know that was a thing. But now that I know it's a thing, I think it'll be something I'll look a little more into, and might do one easier today about it, or just do an entire episode. I don't know, but it sounds like a lot of it has to do with men's health and well-being, making sure we're emotionally secure. All that, so, which yeah, I could definitely use that right now. So, all right, going to work. Oh, come on, let me turn the dang thing off. All right. Yeah, about IFC, so I'll just go and head home. I am tired, and I'm not going to wait around for an hour, wait for the theater to open up. And my phone's almost dead. So, what the fuck, dude? So yeah, after work, went straight towards the Crossroads district, which I am currently leaving. And I got a coffee house, but they kick everyone at 6. And there really isn't a whole lot around the theater. You tell me the pizza place all you want. If you saw the thing earlier today, you know I am practically broke. So pizza is out of the question. And yeah, I'm just going to head home. I've been up since early today. And I'm not young anymore. So. Immortal words of one Eric Cartman. You guys, I'm going home. And yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. We might follow up with this whole International Men's Day thing tomorrow, even though it's today. But I only found out about it today and everything. But I'll read about it tomorrow for at least one of these vlogs. So, alright, have a good night, everybody. Alright, so we're on day 20 now, or if I may, Japanese county. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 18, 19, 10, 10. So I found out yesterday, of course, International Men's Day. So let's get this a global awareness day for many issues that men face, including abuse, homelessness, suicide, and violence, celebrated annually on November 19th. The objectives of celebrating International Men's Day are set up in all the six pillars of International Men's Day. It's also an occasion to celebrate boys and men's lives, achievements, and contributions, in particular for the contribution to nation, union, society, community, family, marriage, and child care. Uh, and I found out in this Wikipedia article that this particular day actually has ties to my alma mater, which, okay. So, so those six pillars that they talked about, here they are. International Men's Day's objectives are given as one, to promote positive male role models, not just movie stars and sportsmen, but everyday working class men who are living decent, honest lives. I think for the most part we do that on this podcast. But, but and of course you may have noticed all the actors we've had on are local guys. So local actors have to um, work normal jobs during the day. So number one. Number two, to celebrate men's positive contributions to society, community, family, marriage, childcare, and the environment. Okay. Number three, to focus on men's health and well-being, social, emotional, physical, and spiritual. It goes back to what I started talking about this week, but no, feeling lonely and feeling that there's nothing that can be done about it. Number four, to highlight discrimination against men in areas of social services, social attitudes and expectations, and law. Okay, I'll give you that one. Number five, to improve gender relations and promote gender equality. Amen. Amen that. And number six, to create a safer, better world where people can be safe and grow to reach their full potential. Absolutely, I agree with that. So, all right. But again, this is something I never heard of until yesterday. So, but while I'm here, let's go from something that's trying to do that seems like it's trying to do some good in the world to some guy that's not doing good in the world. This is a streetsblog.org, usa.streetsblog.org on Donnie's second term, breaking his administration seeks to decimate federal transit funding. Sorry about that. That's my phone going off. When you're talking about taking away money from transit, your proposal is flawed from the get-go, says one expert. Uh, this is relevant because, we just had the Main Street extension for our KC Streetcar open. We're going to have the Riverfront open in a couple months. And we're talking about future lines, and this directly affects future lines because uh, some federal dollars went into getting this thing built in the first place. Um, clearly, we still have a long way to go to improving transit. I don't think buses are the long-term solution. That's been proven over the past few decades. I think rail is the way to go. And if it's, and yeah, part of it is trying to get cars off the street, and try to do as little further damage to our environment as possible. Yeah. So, Kia Wilson is the writer of this. This was published on the 18th. The White House wants Congress to eliminate billions of federal transit money that serves as the backbone of transportation systems across America, and it will hit red states the hardest without even accomplishing the administration's stated goal of stabilizing highway funding and give drivers their fair share, experts warn. Uh, whatever, dude. Politico's Chris Marquette, reported late last week that Donnie's administration has advanced a pair of problematic proposals that together would gouge a 30 plus billion-dollar hole in the budgets of transit authorities across America and upend generations of transportation funding precedent. Under the first proposal, policymakers in Congress would write the next major federal transportation bill, which they are racing to pass when the Infrastructure Investments and Jobs Act expires in September 26th. To exclude the so-called mass transit accounts of the Highway Trust Fund, which was historically which has historically reserved about 20% of gas tax dollars for transit agencies. That account exists in part out of a recognition that funding transit also helps drivers by shifting motorists out of traffic jams and onto trains and buses, as well as providing a host of direct and indirect benefits for all U.S. residents. Okay, that's a good point. Some people should not be driving, period. They should be taking public transit of some sort, and yeah, if this gets those types of people off the street, great. All right. And this jackass wants to get away, wants to do away with it. So, and yeah, that is a problem here. We have uh, I I guess it's been going on the last couple of years. People doing so-called sideshows on major streets. Uh, they recently they recently ruined a newly reconstructed intersection, 75th and Warnell in Waldo. They just finished work on that, and a bunch of idiots decided to do a sideshow in it and ruin the artwork they painted on the whole thing. So this shit needs to stop, of course. But let's continue with the article. So under the second proposal, Congress would strip states' ability to flex their highway funding to transit projects, essentially eliminating local self-determination, which has long been championed by conservatives as a bulwark against federal power. Worse, the two proposals still wouldn't put a dent in the Highway Trust Fund's decades-old deficit, which the Congressional Budget Office projects will swell to roughly 40 billion a year by 27. That deficit has grown in parts because Congress has essentially allowed state transportation departments to keep expanding highways way past the point they can afford to maintain them without increasing the federal gas tax or other revenues to match. Oh yeah, we got a couple of those projects around here too. Put an expressway in 69 that wasn't needed, and what they're doing on I-70 now. So if the White House proposals advance, experts warn it could deepen car dependency and increase strain on the nation's crumbling roads, as well as spurring car crashes, congestion, and more. At the same time, the move would saddle states that do value transit with staggering new bills to keep those systems running and no clear path to pay them. The proposal will not solve the highway trust fund's issues. When it runs out of money, it will only kick the can down the road by about a year, says Corrigan Salerno of Transportation for America. This is not really a red state, blue state thing. All states rely on transit, and really more states that are traditionally thought of as red or rural actually depend on the mass transit account and federal highway funding flexing more than blue urban states do. Not only is this really bad for transit, it just doesn't solve any actual policy issues, Salerno added. Eliminating the mass transit account would just fail to solve the budget issue, the federal budget issue. It'll also put giant holes in states' budgets. The problem with nuking the mass transit accounts and flex funding. Solano explained that public transit may be coded as a blue state priority in the minds of many right-wing politicians, but federal transit funding disproportionately benefits communities across the political spectrum that can't rely on fares to fund their networks, and those communities in turn are concentrated in red states. Uh, Many rural and suburban communities get upwards of half the money they rely on to run even sparse transit networks from the mass transit accounts, while urban areas get only 11% because they have more robust ridership. In blood red, deeply rural Kansas, for example, a staggering 43% of all cash for transit agencies statewide comes directly from the fund, not including other federal sources of shared transportation monies. That's part of why the mass transit account was created under Reagan in the first place, and why a 2012 GOP proposal to eliminate it was quickly shot down. Part of this, I think, is about getting in a partisan hit, this urban-rural divide that the administration has been trying to hammer on. But it's just truly misleading, misunderstanding the facts that what this mass transit account does. I think this administration assumes that most people don't know where this money goes and who benefits from it the most from it and who will suffer the most if it were gone. Of course, eliminating federal funding for transit doesn't mean that federally reliant transit agencies will all just shut their doors overnight, especially in rural areas where a disproportionately high share of residents rely on buses and trains for their basic needs. It would mean, sorry, I hadn't got water yet this morning, so of course, eliminating federal, yeah, basic basic needs. Uh, it would mean that state and local governments would need to pull money from other priorities amongst already stretched thin budgets just to keep people moving, or else face the wrath of voters who just lost their only affordable transportation option, employers whose workers can't make it to the job sites, or hospital systems that are overwhelmed with patients as car crashes and pollution-related health conditions continue to mount. There's that. The White House second proposal, meanwhile, would also disproportionately harm the communities that the president pledged to protect the most. For instance, Salerno said that 28% of federal transit expenditures in blue state Vermont were flexed from the state's federal highway formula funds, and in deep red Nevada, though 35% was, because neither state can afford to run its networks on fares and state and local funding sources alone. So, still, because so many of America's transit networks are so sparse, Politico points out that all 50 states flexed transit dollars totals just 1.6 billion in 24, a tiny fraction of total transportation money. States usually don't use flex funding nearly to the extent that they could to support transit, especially considering that most of the federal dollars are being misspent in the first place by not prioritizing repair over expansion. Yeah, you think 69. Um, there's plenty of federal highway dollars to go around, but funding flexibility, both funding flexibility, states are actually able to decide for themselves whether or not they want to be moving towards a more transit-oriented system. A lot of states are doing that, and it's not just the Marylands and Californias and New Yorks of the country. The user pays myth. Perhaps the most galling thing about Donnie's proposals, though, is what its authors claim is motivating them, the so-called user pays principle that highway funds should be spent on highway projects. Solano explains that, contrary to popular belief, U.S. drivers haven't been paying fully for the roads they use since uh, just turn that off. Since 2008, the first time Congress was forced to bail out the Highway Trust Fund after gas taxes failed to cover the costs of the ever-growing highway network. And as states and transportation leaders failed to invest enough money into transit networks that would take pressure off that massively overbuilt system. Oh, geez, 2008. Who was voted into office in 2008 because of Republican mismanagement of the country? In the years since, lawmakers in Washington have had to repeat that bailout an astonishing 9 times, totaling more than 275 rather, 275 billion in general fund appropriations paid for by Americans at large, whether or not they drive. Of course, Congress could have thrown its weight behind the user pays principle at any point over the last 2 decades by increasing the federal gas tax, but it didn't because members of Congress believe that Americans in car-dependent communities would revolt if fuel prices rose. Uh, yeah, that's kind of the one of the points of public transit is that they wouldn't have to. I digress. Seen through this lens, Solano argues that the existence of the mass transit account is, in some ways, the last firewall between the flawed federal transportation program and outright chaos, because it at least gives the third of Americans who can't reliably drive somewhere to show for the billions of dollars in general fund revenues they've been essentially forced to pump into a trust fund that builds endless highways they'll never use. The user's pay principle has not been the case in the United States for decades for a reason. The mass transit account has been in place since before most people were in Congress. And part of the reason why we were able to do as much as we do on the federal gas tax is simply because of its inclusion. I don't think that it's really possible to get any consensus around this level of funding again without it. More to the point, Salerno argues that all the fuss about the user's pay principle fails to meaningfully challenge what we're getting in exchange for all this money, no matter where the money comes from, where they money. Jeez, the money is going to come from somewhere, and we do need to figure out from where, he added. But the outcomes. Will you stop already? But the outcomes for that money matter significantly more than freaking out about whether or not the moral principles of the tax are ideal. What really matters is safety, whether or not the traveling public can rely on the roads in the future because of their state of repair, and whether or not they have the option to take more affordable transportation modes if they need to. I will tell you as someone who... Shut the fuck up already, all right? I'll tell you as someone who had to have my car in the shop for months this summer in an area that is unfortunately very car dependent. Yeah, I have yet to see much benefit from the buses around specifically my area. Meanwhile, yeah, we celebrate the streetcar around here, but it's just one line right now. Even with the extension, it's all just one solid line. You still have to drive to get there, and well, then, although they did incorporate the buses a bit, but like I said, the buses around here, unless you live in the urban core, are sketchy at best, if existent at all. So, when you're talking about taking away money from transit, which is able to solve all three problems by taking cars and trucks off the road, yep, your proposal is flawed from the get-go. U.S. Department of Transportation and White House did not respond to a request for comment. And the writer lives in St. Louis. That's pretty cool. All right. I'm going to find out what the hell this is going on over here with my phone. And in this blog today, we might, of course, do some more. We have 10 more days of this. So, talk again soon. All right. Well, interesting morning. That's the Chinese curse may live in interesting times. So, okay, it's starting out just fine, but I want to bring your attention here. Let's actually go and swipe that. All right, so this little computer is supposed to be showing me a map and all that. But while taking my brother to and from his appointment, on the way back home, it decided it didn't want to pop up anymore, or rather, he's doing this shit right now. Step one, it doesn't, for some reason, never mind Never mind that there's a USB port in this thing. It doesn't like me using my phone to be as a phone charger, and it doesn't like me charging my phone with a one of those cigarette things either. So, okay, we are on the road and still nothing. Usually, it's supposed to give me a little warning before I push the thing. There, the little button, and it pops up the map. But right now, it's giving me this shit. So, I am wondering if this is something I need to take it into the dealership for. Because this is my primary map, folks. And there's also the radio and audio hub of the car. So, it's still not going. It's still not going. So, is it time to take it to? I don't know, but it's freaking the crap out of me. Okay, oh, here we go. Here we go. It took a while, but this is what the screen looks like. The agree button right there. Come on. Press it, it's not going to do a goddamn thing. It's supposed to be. Alright, so, yeah, that's the button I'm supposed to be pushing. That's the screen. It ain't letting me do shit. Alright, so let's try this again. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Stupid touch screen. Come on, come on. God damn it. It won't even let me do the thing. So what the fuck? And now I just rebooted. So I had this again. So I don't know what happened. Maybe the USB is part of it, but I don't know what happened. But this shit needs to just cut this shit out. Okay. All right, we got it. We're gonna time it. It is now 12:14, and we got map for now. If it, and I'm just going to keep it on, and we're going to keep it on a timer. And if it craps out again, y'all get to hear it. Y'all get to see it. Y'all get to hear it. And so yeah, interesting month it's been so far, as y'all are certainly ready to. Alright, that's weird. So another thing, it usually follows along, but right now it is frozen back a ways. So once again, I don't know what I did, and I fear how much this is going to cost me. And the goddamn thing just rebooted. It was like 2 minutes. So, I don't know what I did, man. Did anything, but god damn it. Alright, map again. Okay, and once again it is slow to keep up. What the fuck is going on here? Anyone who's a car electronics expert, comment, please. Because this is beyond ridiculous now. Alright, this has been happening in the last couple of cycles. The only thing I know to do, there's a little buttons on a little bent clothespin I keep for exactly this type of thing. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, 10 1,000. Okay. Press the auxiliary, which is what the phone would be attached to if I was listening to anything, including the podcast. Auxiliary, and it's giving me a map that effing works. I'm going to turn the car off in just a little bit to get some beverages and such, and like such as. But what really irks me about all this is that I need the USB working to keep my phone charged, especially when I'm doing DoorDash or I'm away from the house for any period of time. It's kind of bullshit that I have to go through this. You know? All because, yeah, there is a USB port in here, but for some reason it don't like working. I had a USB cigarette thing here, but all of a sudden that decided it didn't want to work anymore. I had to pitch it, and yeah, considering my options, see you in the next one. Background is behind me, but alright. I'm at a place called PH Coffee in Northeast KC. I'm up here for a meeting later tonight, but this is just to another Gaki no Sky reference for today. Sumimasen High Society. I don't know what it is about iced coffee, but it always tastes way too strong that you have to add some sweet to it to be able to stomach it. But anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm up here for a meeting of some sorts, and that's been it. Alright folks, welcome back. So yeah, this is, we're still on day 10. And it gives you permission, because we are on that post. Another Gaki no Sky joke, folks. Each me son Shikoku 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 Shikoku. And that's a good primer and what I want to talk about with this post. So I just got out of a committee meeting for HNF, if you know. When someone brings up, let's do karaoke, and there was a little bit of this at playing anime orientation as well. Karaoke. It hurts my ears and my soul when I hear someone say karaoke. This is your Japanese lesson for tonight. Karaoke. Alright? I don't see any E's in there. it's not written karaoke with eyes. So it's karaoke. Kara means empty in this particular case. And by the way, it is the same kara that exists in the word you may be familiar with, and if you're an English speaker, you've probably gotten this one right, actually. Karate. All right. Empty hand. All right. So karate. Yeah. Same goddamn word in karaoke. And the okay parts is short for orchestra. Orchestra. Right? So, yeah, karaoke. So, if you're watching this, now you know. If you're watching this and you want to correct me when I strongly suggest that you should, because again, hearing that other pronunciation hurts my soul. Yeah, just show them this. And also interesting to point out that's karaoke is written in katakana. So really can't screw it up, even though the katakana, if you know the katakana. So how cool is that? Yeah, I'm going to have an expert look at my GPS thing, because it keeps fucking up now. And this only arose today. Alright, November 20th, 2025. That's when this shit arose. Okay. And yeah, we'll just leave it at tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. First of all, we're gonna get gas. And we're going to do much of anything tomorrow. I'm on quarter tank, but that's basically fumes at this point. Fuck you very much, Donnie, for screwing up our economy so badly. That's a choice between getting gas and being able to pay your bills and being able to eat. It really is a an unpleasant choice that people have to make, and it's all your goddamn fault too. And congratulations on signing your epitaph by allowing those files to be released. And good job of everyone in Congress for voting on that, with one obvious exception. If you happen to live in Clay Higgins district, I would strongly suggest running against a motherfucker. Alright. And good job out of the courts for declaring Texas's newly gerrymandered maps illegal. Someone needs to get off their ass and do the same thing in the very state I'm sitting in right now, in Missouri, because they tried to that shit and yeah. And this whole gerrymandering business, I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but that's okay. It's uncalled for. This gerrymandering shit on both sides of the state line, let's be honest, because Kansas is trying, they thought about, well, they had already gerrymandered the hell out of the place. And, you know, Lawrence in the 1st district and KCK north of 70 in the 2nd. Really just to try to get Charisse voted out of office. And they're doing the same shit over here and trying to get Cleaver voted out of office. neither state respects our area, and it shows, and that just gives more fuel to the fire of that our metro area really should be its own state. Just at least the 5 counties. If Cass and Leavenworth want to come for the ride, they're welcome to. But yeah, I'm tired of this shit. All right. Well, playing Comic-Con tomorrow, and at HN Swim tomorrow. There won't be no video of that. So, but yeah, fun times the next 24 hours, and can't believe we are 2/3 of the way done with the month of November in this NaPodPoMo challenge, and I'm just blown away with all the material that I've been able to share with you guys so far this month. And that gets me to another point. Facebook will automatically delete these live stream videos after 30 days. Well, fortunately, I'm saving everything, and we'll put it all together. I may even just leave the videos alone and put them on my dedicated YouTube channel. So we do have a YouTube channel. It's uncalled for video interviews, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's just video interviews, because if we're recording on Zoom, and you may have noticed that a couple of these things were done on Zoom. If we do it on Zoom, Zoom will create both the audio file and a video file, and I've been uploading the video files. I don't think those will be deleted, but I know for a fact all the live streams will be deleted and lost forever if I don't save them. But fortunately, I am saving all of them, and we're going to put it all together for the audio. Still need to figure out that DaVinci Resolve. That's the software. Friend of the podcast, Ty Getmarts, told me about that as a possibility to replace the Adobe Premiere. I'm still trying to figure it out, to be completely honest with you. One thing I love about Adobe is the use of keyframes. That's how you get a lot of your transitions in between clips and shit. I'm still trying to figure that shit out, and just don't know. And I may have to take some time during the winter break, just getting shit done. So yeah, I look forward to all that, and I'm recording an interview for season 10 on Saturday, so that'll be something to look forward to. With her name is Mandy Alexis. I'll go and put that right now. And she wants to talk about the art of living. I guess I'll have to double check with her. I did message her earlier today, make sure she wouldn't flake on me on the interview. And it sounds like it's solid. I think so. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to interviewing also for season 10. My standing role right now is if it's being recorded in 2020 and in the last couple of months of 2025, it will be part of season 10. And that's before we record episode 200. I might not even thinking about doing episode 200 until after New Year's. But anything recorded in 25 will go towards season 10. So I'm also looking forward to a interview with Chris Eveland. He's a musician, but that won't be until December. So get another musician on the podcast. So, hey, gotta give my creatives some love. And I'm already pretty stoked about the stuff we've recorded for this season already. So, including a couple of haymakers aimed at the dipshits in chief right now. And yeah, I look forward to all that. And we'll try to get some more going as well. And take one last look at this building before they tear it down. And they're going to tear it down overnight, I'll tell you that. But it might be going wrong. And we might be seeing that tomorrow. I certainly will be good. Because I'm taking the streetcar tomorrow to get to and from Comic-Con. So, alright. I think I'll end it there before I ramble myself to death. And have a good night, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. This podcast is Uncalled For. Is hosted, produced, and edited by myself, Mike Chernevsky. Our opening music for the NaPodPoMo series is this podcast Uncalled For theme, NaPodPoMo intro, created at suno.com, suno.com. Our outro music is Open Door by Little Glass Men, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution License. You can find their music at freemusicarchive.org. Our additional music includes No Frills Salsa Alternate by Kevin MacLeod and at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license, and Morocco Sting by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license.